My first memory of acknowledging that I might want to be a priest was back in 6th grade. Our teacher had invited a priest to come speak to the class. During the talk, he just sort of stopped and asked the class, has anybody here thought about being a priest or a nun? And I raised my hand.
Well, I grew up in a family that was very Catholic, and I had relatives that were priests and also religious sisters. They were joy-filled, and it intrigued me, their life. And so more and more as I grew up, I wanted to understand what was making them so joyful.
I was a teenager, 16 years old, and started increasingly feeling drawn toward the Catholic faith.
More and more, I just got drawn into sort of studying the faith and really being intrigued by the questions.
What is God asking of you? What does God want me to do with my life? Priesthood kept coming up over and over and again. It sort of haunted me.
And I was a little bit intimidated by the whole idea. There was an awakening of feeling drawn to the priesthood. And finally, I built up the courage to talk to the priest who had brought me into the church. And he said,
it's just about taking a chance and seeing if this is right for you. And if it's not, that's wonderful, because then you've learned to pray, you've learned more about the church's teachings, you've hopefully become a better, more well-rounded human being.
There've never been priests in my life who had that kind of effect on me, because I wasn't Catholic, and so I don't know what it was, but I do know I've always wanted to live life in a very different kind of way, with a kind of freedom that most people didn't seem to have.
He tells us trust him. The idea of trying to know definitively the future as a plan would be, then that's something God seems to make it a point not to tell us, is the plan.
Yeah, I won't say I really knew what was awaiting me, but I knew
something is happening to me. I don't know what it is. And after 2 weeks, in a certain period, I just realized, I want to be a priest. It was just very clear. I said, I want to be a priest.
I had to find out, is this truly for me? I've got to get this question answered in order for me to know, am I truly being called to priesthood, or am I being called to some other vocation in life?
And then I heard his voice calling me. And I feel when that happened, I couldn't resist. It was just bigger than me. You know, it was like,
it's a living thing. And particularly this gift of being with the people of God and entering into their lives, it forms you. They are a gift to us as priests. And so having the experience of their lives, I think, touches us in very deep ways in our own life, prayer, spirituality, and everything. The priesthood changes you.